Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about American politics in the Joe out, Kamala in era. And today we're going to talk about the historical event of President Donald Trump going on Joe Rogan and Kamala not going on Joe Rogan. Man, oh man, I think she is in serious trouble. He's just Donald Trump. It's 2016 all over. He's just He is outmaneuvering her at every turn. It's a mirror of the Donald Trump, Hillary, and if you look at what's happening with the Kamala Harris campaign right now, they're just guilting people. They're like, hey man, I'm not Trump. You have to vote for me. But people are like, no. You have to do something. You have to do more than not be him. Right? And it's astounding. The reason we're going to talk today is why Joe Rogan had Donald Trump on. So first of all, I know the history on this. First of all, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put out some numbers here. You tell me if I'm wrong, but I think these are pretty spot on. Podcasts are 18 years old. 18 years old. 18 years old. That's astonishing, right? And I've been up on them since the gate. All right, like I definitely. Now, what's interesting is I've outgrown podcasts. I don't need podcasts anymore, right? In fact, I kind of think people who still listen to them are a little bit foolish, right? Like the reality is YouTube where it's at. That's where all the best commentary is. Ain't nobody need because all podcasts are now are fools who don't understand that video is king, right? Like video is the medium now, right? So like I don't know why and. The only people left doing podcasts are fools who are like, oh, hey, everybody, I'm going to do 80% of the work to get 10% of the audience. Like the only thing you're not doing is turning on the video button, right? Like you should be videoing this and this should be going straight to YouTube, which is a global at scale platform, not some RSS jank, feed like Spotify, right? Like, come on, like it's absurd, right? Like you do 80% of the work to get 10% of the views. Now, why do they still do it? Well, that 10% of the views, it's nothing but rich people. Nobody but rich people listen to podcasts now. There's no poor people in the world. Ain't a poor person in the world ever listen to a podcast. It's not a thing. They turn on the radio. They turn on the radio. They don't listen to podcasts. It's the way it is. But I was astounded when Joe Rogan said the reason he had Donald Trump on. Right, so first of all, he talked to her for 3 hours, right? That's astonishing, and that is important, right? Because there's no way Kamala Harris can get even through 2 hours, right? Which means it's a stamina thing. There's no way Kamala Harris can talk at length for 3 hours. No way. That's why they were hiding her. That's why she's ducking in her best line of the campaign, right? Donald Trump dodging bullets. Kamala Harris dodging interviews. That's the best line of the except McValor. That was pretty dope too. But man, we get some bangers. We're getting some bangers lines coming out of this thing, man. So check this out, right? So Kamala Harris. So Joe Rogan goes on. Donald Trump goes on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan and Donald Trump's like, hey, let's talk about this. I wanted to be on a while ago, right? And Joe Rogan is already on record, and he did not say this to Trump. Joe Rogan is an incredible host. He really treats every host like a guest, right? He gives them a lot of respect. But Joe Rogan's got a very, very wicked sharp blade on him, right? He's got a wicked sharp edge on him. He can cut you if you're not watching, right? One, if you're not intelligent, he's going to expose that. Two, if you're a jerk or you're selfish, he's going to expose that. All right? He will give his guests the rope to hang themselves on, right? And what's interesting is Donald Trump, say what you will, he could talk for 3 hours straight and can make it interesting. And that's not an accident. This dude was on reality TV for 10 years, right? Like, and that's training, right? Kamala Harris can't talk herself out of a paper bag. Are you kidding me? Right? Like, ask you a real question and she starts up with, when she's going into a word salad, she'll say, well, I grew up in a middle-class family. You can ignore every word that comes after that because none of it matter, right? But this blew me away, and I'm sorry it took so long to get here. Joe Rogan says, hey, the reason I didn't have you on until I know why Joe Rogan did not have him on. Joe Rogan is very specifically, he did not want to sway the election, and he knows he's going to give 5 to 15 points in the general to whoever he does not eviscerate. And he did not eviscerate Donald Trump, right? He had him on, he treated him as a guest, and he's going to give him 5 to 15 points in the general. No two ways about it. Joe Rogan knows he's a kingmaker, but this blew my mind. You know what he said? He said, when you got shot, I knew I had to have you on. He said, a lot of times it's just about timing. Joe Rogan said the quiet part loud. He's like, guess what? You know what? This is the Joe Rogan show. You're president. You can kick rocks. No thank you. Next. You're president. You can kick rocks. No thank you. Next. Not good enough. I ain't just having a president on my channel, right? I need better, right? Did somebody try to put you in the dirt? Oh, somebody tried to assassinate you? Thank you. Next. No thank you. Not good enough. Did somebody try to put you in the dirt twice in 3 months? Breaking a record for American assassination attempts? Now you're on. Welcome. Welcome to the Joe Rogan Show, President Donald Trump. That is astounding, right? What do we hear there? You are hearing the death knell of mainstream media. Joe Rogan just said, nah, sucker, you ain't coming on my channel just being an American president. I ain't got no time for that noise, right? I would have had on Hillary Trump. I would have had on Bill Clinton. I ain't talked to any of these fools. Who needs to talk to an American president? I want an assassination attempt American president plus one. Plus one. Somebody try to take your life twice in 3 months? Welcome to the Joe Rogan Show. That's astounding, right? That is the power of new media, right? That is the power of new media to say, go do your fireside chat. We don't need you. We don't need you. I'd rather talk to an expert on Sasquatches than some fool president. That's power. Like Joe Rogan, and honestly, I'd love to tell you that he's going to decide the election. He's not. And the only reason why not is the McDonald's fry maneuver from Donald Trump is the greatest moment in American political theater ever. But I was astonished. Joe Rogan was like, you just some putz president? You ain't rolling up on my podcast, son. Right? Go dodge a couple, right? Make sure that somebody tried to put you in the grave twice. Then let's talk. That's astonishing. That is astonishing, right? Wow. Kamala better get her. Actually, she can't. Kamala cannot talk to Joe Rogan for 3 hours. And the reason why is he will tear her apart without trying to. By talking to him, she's going to show that all she can talk about is her own self-ambition, abortion, and literally nothing else, right? And two made-up policy plans that she cooked up, in an air fryer in the last 2 weeks. That ain't gonna last even 40 minutes. That ain't even gonna last 25 minutes. She ain't got 30 minutes of genuine talk in her. And you cannot not talk genuinely on Joe Rogan. Kamala cooked, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider like and subscribing and have a fetch millennium.